Hi everybody, it's Richard here again, and welcome to part 32 of where I show all my vinyl albums. Now we're currently in the 1960s section. The last video was the Beatles, and I said this one would be the Rolling Stones and possibly the Kinks, but I've changed my mind and it's going to be the Rolling Stones and the Who. The next video will be the Kinks and the Bee Gees. So let's get started, because there are quite a few here, and we have the Rolling Stones debut, just called the Rolling Stones, and this is one with Route 66 on it, and Carol and Tell Me. It's alright, I'm not overly keen on those really early Stones albums. I think this is actually better, and this is Rolling Stones number 2, and it's got Down Home Girl, which I like. Funny enough, I Can't Be Satisfied is my favourite track off it, and it's the most bluesy of the lot. And they do a nice version of Down on the Boardwalk on this as well. It's okay. This one here is Around and Around, and this is a recent purchase, and a lot of these tracks, in fact all of them, aren't on any of the Rolling Stones UK studio albums, so it's good to get Around and Around, Not Fade Away, I Wanna Be Your Man, Poison Ivy, It's All Over Now, Empty Heart. It's actually a pretty good album. The third album proper in the UK is Out of Our Heads, and this is such an improvement on the first two. You have She Said Yeah, which is frenetic but is great. Mercy Mercy is brilliant. That's How Strong My Love is one of my favourite Stones covers. Brilliant song. Cried to Me is a very good track. Heart of Stone, which is the Jagger Richards original. This is a pretty good album. And then we have Aftermath, and this is the first album where Jagger and Richards wrote all the songs. Some of the songs of this are absolutely brilliant, and some of them are filler. So you do get Mother's Little Helper, Lady Jane, Under My Thumb, Flight 505, High and Dry, Out of Time. Those are all the really good songs, but you do get some filler like Don't You Bother Me. It's Not Easy, and Think, and What to Do. I'm not too sure whether it's filler or if it's brilliant, but it's a nice wee song. Big hits, High Tide and Green Grass, and this is just basically a greatest hits of all the singles. The Stones didn't put any of their singles on their 60s albums, so this actually was essential back then, maybe not so much now with all the compilations that have been released. Between the Buttons from 67, and I think this is better than Aftermath. Yesterday's Papers I've always liked. I love the drums of My Obsession. Backstreet Girls, beautiful little song. Who's Been Sleeping Here, very Bob Dylan-esque, but it's really good. Miss Amanda Jones, which I absolutely love now, and it was the film Some Kind of Wonderful that really turned me on that song, because I never liked it before. The only one I'm not as keen on is Cool, Calm and Collected, but it's okay. And then we have Their Satanic Majesty's Request. This is a pretty good album, although it could have been much better. Sing This All Together, See What Happens is absolute garbage, and it should never have been on it, and it's about 7 minutes long. So if that had been replaced with We Love You and Dandelion, the album would have been great. But you do get She's a Rainbow, excellent. 2000 Light Years From Home is excellent. 2000 Man is excellent. Gumper I really like, and The Lantern. It's a very good album. It is very psychedelic though. Beggar's Banquet, and this is quite acoustic in places, but this is regarded as one of their best. Sympathy for the Devil, Street Fighting Man, Stray Cat Blues, Jigsaw Puzzle, Factory Girl, Salt of the Earth, all excellent tracks. The Rolling Stones, Through the Past Darkly, big hits too, and again this is a follow-up to the big hits album from a couple of years previous. Yeah, this is pretty good as well. It's got your Honky Tonk Woman and Jumpin' Jack Flash, etc. on it. Let It Bleed, another one of their most popular albums. I do like this, but I still don't put it in my top 5 Stones albums. I love Give Me Shelter, it's one of the best ever songs, and I love Monkey Man, and I do really like Lovin' being the bluesy number, but things like Midnight Rambler, they don't really do it for me. You Got the Silver's okay. Country Hunk is a waste. It should have been the single Honky Tonk Women. And Let It Bleed has got a bit of that Jagger southern twang voice on it, which gets on my nerves actually. Give Me Shelter and the Rolling Stones, including 6 live tracks never before released in the UK, and it's a bit of a compilation. So you get Jumpin' Jack Flash, Love and Vain, Honky Tonk Woman, Street Fighting Man, Sympathy for the Devil, Give Me Shelter. And on side 2, these are the live ones: Under My Thumb, Time Is On My Side, I've Been Loving You Too Long, Fortune Teller, Lady Jane and Satisfaction. Get Your Yayas Out, and this is a good live album from 1970, and that's Jumpin' Jack Flash, Carol, Stray Cat Blues, Sympathy for the Devil. Unfortunately it does have Midnight Rambler on it, but this live version is better than the studio one. Sticky Fingers with Brown Sugar, Sway, Bitch, Wild Horses, Can't You Hear Me Knocking, absolutely fantastic album. Exile on Main Street, the double album with Rocks Off. I think that's my favourite Stones track of all time, actually. You also get Sweet Virginia, and he does have a southern twang voice in that as well, but he gets away with it this time. Happy is also a great song. Tumbling Dice is a really, really good album. A couple of tracks I'm not as keen on though. Goat's Head Soup from '73, and this is my favourite Stones album, with Do 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 Do, Heartbreaker, Angie, Dancing with Mr. D, Star Star, Can't You Hear the Music. Absolutely fantastic album. And the box set, the Giles Martin remix, and that other album was actually the Giles Martin remix as well, so I have 2 of them, but this includes a live show from 1973 as well, which is really, really good. I bought this because it was on offer about 2 years after it was released. I do have another Goat's Head Soup, but it's in the sort of archive box that I have to get rid of the stuff. It's only rock and roll from '74, very underrated. It's got the title track, Time Waits for No One, is great, and I love the opener of If You Can't Rock Me. I also like Dance Little Sister and the Fingerprint File. I think it's a really good album. Made in the Shade, which is a compilation of the first 4 albums, 10 songs, really good, but unfortunately there's no Rocks Off on it. And then we get Metamorphosis from 1975, which is an outtakes album from the late 60s, and it's okay. You also get the orchestral version of Out of Time in this. It's not a bad album. Roll Gold, the very best of the Rolling Stones, and this is the UK equivalent to Hot Rocks, really, and it's a double album of the Decca material. Black and Blue from 1976, and this is the one with Full de Gray on it, and Crazy Mama, Hand of Fate, Hot Stuff. Decent album. Love You Live, double album from I think 1977. Yeah, it's pretty good. One of the sides is from the El Macambo gig, which is Cracking Up, Manish Boy, Little Red Rooster, and Round and Round. It's not a bad album, it's not brilliant, but it's not bad. Some Girls from '78. This was a very popular album back in the day. Miss You, Faraway Eyes, Respectable, The Brilliant Beast of Burden, and Lies, which is one of my favourite tracks off it. And then we have Suckin' in the '70s, which is a compilation album I think released in around 1980. And it's okay, it's not really a hit, so there's a few rarities on this as well. I think one of them is Everything Is Turning to Gold, which is not much of a track, to be honest. Emotional Rescue, I do like this, but sometimes I think this is really good and sometimes I think it's woeful. But my favourite track off this is She's So Cold. I think it's just fantastic. Dance is a really good opener. Emotional Rescue is a very good single, but it's far too long. Summer Romance is fine. One I really don't like is Down in the Hole, which is really just a bluesy workout. Tattoo You, very, very good album. First side is the rockers, second side is the slower songs. Start Me Up, Wait on a Friend, Tops, really good album. And then Tattoo You again. Now this is the double reissue from a couple of years ago, so you get a bonus disc of outtakes, and this has a version of Drift Away on it, which everybody seemed to have done. And then we get Still Life, American Concert 1981, and this was released in '82, and I bought this because I loved the single Going to a Go-Go. It starts off with Under My Thumb and Let's Spend the Night Together, which are two great versions, and you get tracks from Some Girls and one from Emotional Rescue. It's a pretty good album actually. Time Is On My Side was the second single release from that album. This one here is seriously underrated. It's Undercover with fantastic Undercover of the Night. I really like She Was Hot. Too Much Blood is great. Wanna Hold You, the Keith song, is great as well. Must Be Hell, Too Tough. It's a very good album. Rolling Stones Rewind 71 to 84, basically just the best of. And they released Brown Sugar again to promote that. Rolling Stones and Dirty Work, and this is not a very good album at all. Got Harlem Shuffle on it and One Hit to the Body, but the songs aren't that strong. And then we get Stale Wheels from 1989, which was a bit of a return to form. Sad 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 is a very good opener. Mixed Emotions is a great song. Slipping Away is one of Keith's finest. Almost Hear You Sigh is a half decent single. The second big single, well, biggest single was Rockin' a Hard Place, and I've never liked it. Flashpoint, which is a live album, and this is actually really good. It's very well recorded, and there's a couple of studio tracks at the end, High Wire and Sex Drive. Sex Drive is rubbish. High Wire is actually very good. Okay, Voodoo Lounge, and this was a big one in the 90s with Love Is Strong, You Got Me Rockin', The Worst, New Faces. Very good album. And then we have Bridges to Babylon, which is not bad as well. It's a double album too, and with Flick of the Switch is brilliant. Anybody Seen My Baby, I think, is a pretty good song. Out of Control was a single, very long, but it's a very good song as well. It's decent. It's very sort of basic Stones though. And same with A Bigger Bang from 2005. It's okay. Rough Justice is probably the best track off this. It's a double album, but it's not bad. And then we get Blue and Lonesome from 2015, which is a blues covers album, and I can get through about 2 or 3 songs and then I just get bored stiff with it. I just don't like it. It's probably the worst Stones album for me. And then Hackney Diamonds, the one from last year, and this is really good, with Angry, Depending on You, Dreamy Skies, Whole Wide World, Bite My Head Off with Paul McCartney, Mess It Up, Live by the Sword. Very, very good. Apart from the last track, Rolling Stone Blues, which again is a bluesy number. And then we have Hunk, which is a triple album from 1971. I'm not too sure where this actually goes up to. It goes up to about the 90s anyway, but it's an absolutely excellent album, and Rocks Off is on this one. Mick Jagger solo, She's the Boss from 85. It's okay with Just Another Night and Lucky in Love and Hard Woman. Pretty good album. Primitive Cool from I think 87 or 88, and it's not so good. It's a bit boring. The hit off this was Let's Work, quite dated. This one here is Wandering Spirit, and this is absolutely brilliant. This is his best solo album, and it's possibly better than all the Stones albums from 1980 onwards. It is that good. Wired All Night's Great Sweet Thing, Out of Focus, Wandering Spirit itself, it's just a really good double album. Single CD, of course. Goddess in the Doorway, and no, this is not great either, and there's no highlights on this at all. I know Lenny Kravitz features in this. Keith Richards and Talk Is Cheap. It's not a bad album with Take It So Hard and The Wee Rockabilly, I Could Have Stood You Up, and Big Enough. It's okay. This is Keith Richards' Expensive Winos, the double live album, and it's not bad either. It's really from around that tour, with a couple of Stones songs thrown in. Keith Richards again, and Main Offender from 92, and this has got 999 on it, Wicked As It Seems. It's alright. I do prefer Talk Is Cheap, but this one is the best of the lot for Keith Richards, and it's Cross-Eyed Heart. I think this is a wonderful album, and this is from about 2015 or so. Really, really good. Bill Wyman, forgot I had this, Monkey Grip, and it's not good at all. And Bill Wyman again, and this is the one, I think it's just called Bill Wyman. This is the one with CC Just Reason Rockstar on it, and it's okay, it's very electronic, but it's not bad. The Who and their debut album My Generation, and there's a double version with plenty of outtakes and alternate versions. It's pretty good. My favourite Who album is a quick one, and this has got So Sad About Us on it, as well as Cobwebs and Strange, which is a Strange track by Keith Limbaugh. I think it's really good. I Need You, I think it's fantastic. A quick one, While He's Away, is a great track too. The Who Sell Out, yeah, that's probably my second favourite, with Mary Ann with the Shaky Hand, Tattoo, and the big one is I Can See for Miles. I do like the little sort of radio jingles in between the songs. The Who, Tommy, yeah, another very, very good album with Pinball Wizard, I'm Free, and various other ones. Pretty good. Odds and Sods, and this is the double reissue for Record Store Day, and this is pretty good too. Postcard, Now I'm a Farmer, Pure and Easy, Zoot Suit, Heaven and Hell. It's a decent album. Meaty Beaty, Big and Bouncy, and this was the first Who record we ever had, and this is the singles of the 60s, and I must admit I am more of a fan of 60s Who than I am 70s and beyond. So you get great tracks like My Generation, Substitute, Pinball Wizard, brilliant songs. Who's Next, and another very, very good album with Baba O'Reilly, Won't Get Fooled Again, Getting in Tune, Loving for Keeping My Wife. Excellent album. Quadrophenia. This is one that took me forever to get into. It's still not up there, but it's not near the bottom anymore. It's mid-table Who for me. You get things like Drowned, 515, The Real Me, Quadrophenia itself, Cut My Hair. It is decent, but you really do have to be in the mood for that album. The Who by Numbers, the most underrated Who album, with However Much I Booze, Slip Kid, Squeezebox, Imagine a Man's Success Story, In the Hand or a Face. I think this is really good. It's more poppy, I think that's probably why I like it. Who Are You? It's not great at all. Was the title track, one of their weakest. Face Dances, which I think is actually quite good, with You Better You Bet and Don't Let Go of the Coat, and this I do really like, and yeah, it's better than Who Are You anyway. And It's Hard, which is hard to listen to at times. It's got Athena, which is a decent track. Cook's County is okay, and the other one was Eminence Front, which everyone raves about, but I just don't like it. I just don't think it's a good track at all. And from I think 2020 or 2019 is Who by The Who, and this is okay. Ball and Chain's alright, All This Music Must Fade, Beads on One String, Hero Ground Zero. It's not a bad album. It's better than what I thought it would be. And then we get this live album for Record Store Day, and it's live at the Monterey International Pop Festival, and this is from the mid-60s, and you've got Substitute, Summertime Blues, Pictures of Lily, a quick one, Happy Jack, and My Generation. That is my type of Who, and it sounds brilliant. It sounds really heavy as well for that time. Roger Daltrey, and this is his debut album, and this is the one with Giving It All Away, which is the best song recorded by any Who member of the 1970s. I absolutely love it. It's a Leo Sayer song as well. Roger Daltrey, and this is Ride a Rock Horse, and this is not great at all. The other album's not great either, it's just I love Giving It All Away. And Roger Daltrey, best bits. Really, all you need of Roger Daltrey is actually quite good. And Pete Townshend, and Empty Glass, and this is supposed to be a brilliant album, but I've only played it once. I need to play it more, so I can't really say. But Rough Boy's on this, I know that one. And I think Roger Daltrey again, One of the Boys. Don't know why I've put that last, but yeah, this is absolute garbage, so it is. And there's a Paul McCartney song off this, I don't know which one, Giddy I think you call it, and it's rubbish as well. So that's my Rolling Stones and Who collection. As I say, the next video will be the Kinks and the Bee Gees. I hope you enjoyed that and hope to have that video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.